Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Dimmitt Chevrolet in Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? I have that one crossover SUV that is still going on for 2024. It's this vehicle right here. This is it. This is a 2024 Chevy Equinox. This particular one is an RS, and it's featuring an all-new color for 2024. This is that popping RIPTIDE Blue. But before we get into this compact Chevy crossover, let's talk about what's going on here. The Equinox, it has some tough competition. You got the RAV4, you got, of course, the CR-V, the CX-5 from Mazda. I mean, the list goes on and on. The Hyundai Tucson, the Kia Sportage. Well, for model year 2024, Chevy is focusing all of their redesign and refresh attention on the Trax, on the Traverse, on the Tahoe, the Suburban, and the upcoming Equinox EV, and of course the Blazer EV as well. What you're gonna find though is they did make some changes over recent past, and with this new RIPTIDE color, I think it gives it almost a totally different angle on being sporty with the RS trim. Now, like I said, lots of tough competition. One of the toughest is gonna be the original. Goes back to 1994. Who's that? The Toyota RAV4. So let's go ahead, let's dive in and see if you should be buying this RIPTIDE Blue Equinox or the RAV4. Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the color. If you remember, we brought the E-Ray video to you. It was featured in RIPTIDE Blue. Not only did it look good on the C8 E-Ray, I think it looks pretty poppin' on this Equinox. Now, at the front is where you're gonna see some of the most recent changes. They restyled the headlight housing, made it full LED daytime running lamp. You'll notice on the RS, you get the gloss black trim that separates the two levels. And then down below, you do have your turn signals. Now, I am gonna zonk that should be LED, and I'm definitely gonna zonk that this is a fake vent area. Would have been nice for them to do something a little bit more creative, put some fog lamps in there and make that LED, and I think you'd have something that looks really modern. Now, as you come across the front grille, when you go RS, RS stands for Rally Sport. So of course you're gonna get that bright red badge. It's all about styling cues. You got your blacked out bow tie, unique grille to the RS forward facing camera, which is nice. And then as you follow your way down, you're gonna have gloss black and openings on the bottom as well. But like I said, not a redesign, this is a refresh. Now, as we rise up, you're still gonna get the same hood as before. And the great news is I think it works very well with the style of the grille. I do like the indentations that they put on both sides of the hood to give us some character. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So what you're gonna find is that as I spin right in front of Steven, you're gonna find these gunmetal metallic gray wheels, specific to the RS. Love the style. You got your blacked out bow tie just like up front. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this tire and wheel? You're looking at 19-inch wheel. Tire is 235 in the width, 50 series sidewall. Let me know what you think about the wheels. I think they're spot on the money. I'm giving them a thumbs up. Now, as we rise back up and we kind of rotate in a different direction, you'll see very clean style on the fenders. You do have color match mirror caps. I do like the LED turn signals blended in nicely. We only have gloss black on the bottom, and I like that because if you look, up top, we have the gloss black raised roof rails, which is a nice touch. And then as we come back down, you got the Equinox name prominently displayed. We got, like I said, our color match door handles, flat black along the bottom. I'm glad that they didn't bring the black around the fender openings. Let me know if you're digging this or if you'd rather it be black all the way around the fender opening. Even the quarter glass still looks fresh, even though this portion hasn't been refreshed at all. Swinging around back, just like all the other competitors, except for the Tucson, you do have a rear wiper, stubby roof spoiler, obviously all painted blue. And then you're gonna notice that we do have LED brake lights, which are looking slick. Equinox name all blacked out. The RS badge. I think the one thing is missing, that as we drop down, I would like to see some type of exhaust finisher, like on a CX-5 or on the RAV4. It would be nice to have that, but you do have the ability to tow. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and find out what's powering this Equinox. All right, guys, we got the hood open. You do have a prop rod on the competition, so we're not gonna zonk that. Underneath the hood, you don't have a big, huge engine cover. What you do have, like it says, that Ecotech engine. So what are we actually talking about when we're referring to the engine in this Equinox. You are looking at basically a 1.5 liter inline 4 that produces 175 horsepower, 203 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds. The vehicle weighs 3,627 pounds, and MPGs 24 in the city, 30 on the highway, and you could tow up to 3,500 pounds. So nice that they have that setup. But what I want to find out is, what does it look like when the RS is rolling? Let's go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Riptide Blue Equinox RS. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need a new compact crossover. I don't know which one to go with. They all seem great. I'm digging this Equinox RS, especially the color. How much is it? MSRP for the way that this one is optioned is right at $35,000. Let's see how it stacks up to the mighty RAV4, to the door panels. So the zonk is you're going to have a blending of hard plastic up top, but I do like the neoprene material. That's actually not cloth. Thank God they did not do cloth. The red stitching is part of the RS package. No gloss black, and you could fit a big Buford in there and a strawberry shake to wash it down, and we have the Bose sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. RS, I love the materials, the stitching, the black chrome around the AC vents. Slide on in, you have the optional 8-inch. Standard is a 7-inch. This is an 8-inch infotainment system. Now you do have an 8-inch infotainment system on the RAV4 as well, but it's not nicely integrated like this is. Plus, this is very quick reacting, and the camera quality blows the Toyota cameras right out of the water. And then to get back, it's real simple. Just hit the home button. Duh. So nice swipe features there. We work our way down. You get your dual climate control with digital LED readouts, 3 stages of heated seats. And then down below, you have a USB-A, USB-C, 12 volt, a place for, I would say, 2 bags of Big League Chew, 2 cup holders. You got your standard Chevy key fob, and they do give you remote start, which is a nice touch. This is going to control that 6-speed automatic. It's got the RS badge on it, the red stitching. You got a little place here for some Tic Tacs, little boxes of Tic Tacs. Soft material with the red stitching. Open it up, what do we got? We got a pencil tray. I remember back when I was in school, I used to have a pencil box to keep all the pencils in there so it wouldn't mess up my Trapper Keeper. So this reminds me of that. So you could put, they actually used to have a pencil available in the school store in elementary school called the Big Dipper. Kind of cool. In this storage area, you have 2 USB-As, and you got enough room in there. I would say, you could easily put 7 Hostess snowballs. And if you're wondering what the heck is a snowball, that is where it's pink coconut covering the black cake with the cream center. And they call them a snowball because they look like a ball. So there you go. You can put 7 balls, snowballs in there. Seats, you got the material with the red stitching. You even have, look at this, Steven, show them, the RS little tag. It's almost like on a purse or a pair of jeans. Red stitching area. The zonk is manual adjustments for the passenger. That really stinks. But the good news is I have power assist for the driver. But why don't we go ahead? We don't have a sunroof. I wish there was one, even a standard one at $35,000. Why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Equinox. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have great news, manual adjustments for, electric adjustments for the driver. I just wish they gave you some nicer pedals. Like, I feel like an RS should have aluminum pedals, but you don't get any, so that's a zonk. Spacious steering wheel though, digging it with the red stitching. Just wish they would have put an RS badge here. You do have these Game Boy style rubber buttons. It reminds me of a Game Boy. Very interesting. You can go left, right, A, B, start. And then of course you have your heated steering wheel, manual adjustments. And then the tach is a little bit of old and a little bit of new. You have that digital display in the center. Everything else is analog. no head-up display whatsoever. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the back seat, because I can't wait to see how this drives in this Equinox. All right, guys, back seat time. And what's great is that for a compact crossover SUV, you got a lot of room back here. I do like the soft material. Nice sized pockets to where you could get a few issues of Nintendo Power magazine. I wish I still had mine. My mom threw them all out. I bet you I could probably sell them on eBay and be rich. But Nintendo Power, before the interwebs, that's where you got all your information about video games and what was coming out. Little command center. I'm surprised how far back it comes out. Like if I was sitting in the middle, think about what these AC vents are going to be doing to your groin area. That might actually hurt you from having children down the road. USB A's and a home power source, so they got you covered nicely. I got some really good space, and it's a little annoying. You do have to reach over to make adjustments, but they do lean back a little bit, which is nice. And of course, you have this not soft, it's rock hard armrest, but you do have two cup holders. Why don't we go ahead, let's get into the cargo area, because I want to take you for a spin in this Equinox. All right, guys, cargo area time. What's nice is when you go RS, you do get electric assist, which is a great touch. Cargo floor, nice and spacious. With the seats up, you got 30 cubic feet of space. Fold the seats down, you're basically, believe it or not, over doubling it. 64 cubic feet of space. I like those numbers. What I also like is, of course, you have the nooks on both sides for your Equinox box of Twinkies. Underneath, do we have a spare? No. We have a storage area. Now, there could be a spare underneath, which I'm going to take a look. Nope, there is an exhaust. So no spare unless, let's see, let's do it. But that circle's got to mean something, right? The circle has to mean something. Yes! I can't believe it. I can't believe it, Steven. We're going to get this out. I promise you. Come hell or high water, there's a spare. Look at that. I like the sound of that. I was about to say, oh my God. The great news is you could take, you know those bags of pickles that you get from the convenience store? You could put about 78 of them in here, which is great. And then of course, you seal it up. Seats can fold down. I'll show you how they fold down. It's actually quite simple. I'm just gonna do one side. So you do this. It basically rips it right out of your hand. So that's your 60-40 split. But you know what? This thing is not just about what you could haul, it's about how it drives. Let's see how it compares to the RAV4 and go for a spin. All right, guys, we are leaving Dimmitt Chevrolet. We're in this 2024 RIPTIDE Blue Equinox RS. Unfortunately, we don't have a sunroof for me to attach that suction cup mount to, but this will give you a good idea of what the space is like in this Equinox RS. It is very comfy. I have to admit, the seats are comfy. I like the way there's no cloth on them. Armrest is a nice height and is soft. And then of course, visibility is great out the windshield. The 4-cylinder is buzzy. But remember, this one is turbocharged, whereas the 4-cylinder in the RAV4 is naturally aspirated. And in the RAV4, you have a 6-speed automatic, an 8-speed automatic. This one has a 6-speed automatic. But we're trying to compare the two to really see where you should be spending your money. Getting to the 8-inch infotainment system is well within reach, and I like the way it's integrated, very clean here. The red stitching and touches for the RS package actually make it feel a little bit more special in here. I just want a standard sunroof, for God's sakes. But let's go ahead and go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. So 0 to 60 in 8 seconds is nothing to really blow your mind. But the great news is that it really feels quicker than what the 8 seconds reports. So that's the interesting part. There are slower ones. There definitely are faster ones. And the RAV4 is definitely on the same 0 to 60 as this vehicle. Going down the road, it's actually quite quiet in the cabin. That's a tongue twister. Very quiet in the cabin. Getting to the dual climate control is nice. And there's not a bunch of gloss black, which I could applaud Chevrolet for not using. You got the great safety features, brake assist with those head-up lights. Not a head-up display, but those head-up lights. They flash red to let you know that people are not moving in front of you. And then having the flexibility in the back with all of the plug-in opportunities for your rear seat passengers, AC vents, and the same great seat material. But going down the highway, very smooth, not a lot of road noise, not a lot of wind noise, which is great. But this really is that power-packed price tag where it's affordable, but you're getting a lot of sporty touches. I just wish they would have went all in instead of half in. And it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with the Equinox, especially with the Equinox EV coming out. All the controls are just really well sorted and make sense exactly where you need it. And I don't mind the analog gauges, to be honest with you. I feel like they do a fine job of giving you the information, and then you do have a digital display. 6-speed is a little sluggish, but like I said, the RAV4, it kind of does the same thing, even though it's an 8-speed. It's not like a smooth shifting 8-speed, but it does help bring the revs down. I mean, right now I'm doing 52 miles an hour, and I'm doing about 1700 RPM. So if I had another gear or two, those revs would drop down to about 1200. But definitely a nice option when you're looking for that compact crossover SUV. Hopefully this was a good enough overall review, especially with that Riptide color. We're gonna get back to Dimmitt, Chevy, and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been an incredible day here at Dimmitt Chevrolet. Definitely want to thank Raheel and the rest of the team getting us access to this Riptide Blue Equinox RS for 2024. Let me know what you think. Are you going RAV4? Are you going Equinox? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Of course, we need to give it up. Stephen Flood Photography. He does the business no matter what time of day. He was actually filming for me at 4 a.m. We had to do this early rise videography session. He did it and made it happen. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.